Told you it was special. How many of you learned something today? I hope you did. I hope you were inspired. I wrote this all frantically, like I had something to say. I hope you're inspired. I hope you're fired up. I hope you have new ideas of your own. I hope you believe in the power of ideas. I hope that you remember that with great power comes great responsibility. I challenge you to share, spread these ideas, change attitudes, change lives, and ultimately change the world. It starts with one step. It can start today if you want it. At this time, I'd like to call up, if he's around, excellent, Evan Karatzas from Proximity Lab to help with our closing.
Thank you. Well, I'm in awe of this entire day. And I mean, you guys have all experienced, I think, something pretty special on the seacoast. And I think it's a great example of, I think, what we can all be so proud of. I'm speaking not just of the great speakers and performers, but also of all the conversations I've seen unfold here. And it really makes me proud to be on the seacoast, honestly. And I just want to thank you all for spending the time with us and making this such a great event. So thank you. I'm going to say a few thank yous. There's, as you might imagine, a lot of work that went into this event, a lot of people involved, and I want to recognize a few of those people. I am also on the board of directors for 3S Artspace, and I think we owe them a round of applause for sharing this space with us today. And it may look finished to you right now. There's an illusion going on here. It's not. And we're in the middle of a capital campaign, and everybody's support is needed to really make this a reality. And there's an interesting connection to really how TEDx in PiscataquaquaRiver came to be. But a little more than a year ago, Chris Greiner, who's the founder of 3S, Sherry Lee from the Charitable Foundation, and I sat down here. And it's funny, we kind of decided to make this event happen, but TEDx has always been an example that we've used when we're telling the 3S story about why we need a space like this in town, and it's the right size, it's sort of mission aligned, and we figured what better way to demonstrate that than to really put the event on, and that's where we sort of made that commitment. Crystal Paradis joined Chris and I as organizers of the event. And we immediately, this is last January, we immediately put together an advisory panel. Some of the brightest people in town, the most energetic and committed people I've ever worked with, and I'd like to acknowledge them. This is over a year's worth of work, meeting, every other week, and really just it's a massive undertaking. And I can't thank them enough for their commitment. So these are the members of that advisory panel: Nick Allen, Paul Berry, Sherry Lee Bloodworth-Botop, Mary Jo Brown, Lisa Butler, Robert Chindella, Josh Sear, Jesse Devitt, Chris Greiner, Sean McGowan, Crystal Paradis, and myself. There were a few individuals in that. Thank you. There are two people in that list. Everybody did a massive amount of work, but there are two people in particular that I want to call out, and Crystal Paradis is one of them for the unbelievable effort she put in. She touched pretty much every aspect of this project, and it's a really amazing effort. And the other is Lisa Butler, who handled the speaker subcommittee. So thank you both for your effort, and thanks to the entire panel for everything you did. There are a few other people I'd like to thank. Kate Martin is the event planner that really was the glue behind this. She coordinated really everything you see here. I think she deserves a round of applause also. And a few others. Andy Dolph, who's heading the AV production. John Herman, thank you very much for being a great MC today. Brendan Flavin, Nick Mirabello, the city of Portsmouth, who got behind this project very early on. Thank you for your support and issuing a permit for us to hold the event here. And all the volunteers that spent time leading up to this and today and tomorrow breaking things down and all the other work that still is going on here. So thank you. I want to recognize the sponsors one last time. Again, our presenting sponsor, the New Hampshire Charitable Foundation, for their very generous support. And the event sponsors, Timberland, Eco Movement, Borealis Ventures, Sentient Decision Science, Proximity Lab, and also the in-kind sponsors. And there were more than this list, but just to name some of them: 3S Artspace, Discover Portsmouth, Beautiful Days, Brown & Company Design, who did all of the visual design that you saw here today, Smutty Nose Brewing, Infinite Imaging, The Kitchen, Chairman of the Board, and many, many others. So thank you again for everything you've done. Now there's an after party that you may know about, and it's funny, Nick Allen told me before I came up that I was the only one standing in the way of our sort of refreshments there, so added a little pressure to the situation. But what I wanted to do is, if you saw the portraits over here that Leah Haydock had photographed for us, we'd gone around one day and asked people what it means to build a stronger community. And some of their answers are there. And I thought I would close with sort of my own answer. And for me, it's about empathy. And I sort of saw that reinforced in a lot of the talks we saw today. But we all go through conflict and struggle in a variety of ways, and I really think it's how we deal with those, deal with each other, and when our friends and family are struggling, and when we're going through those struggles. And I think it's our ability to listen, our ability to understand what they're going through, and to be compassionate. And I think that's really what I think about when I think about this Seacoast community, is all of the volunteer work that goes on, all the philanthropy, all of the collaboration, empathy, and our ability to sort of listen to each other and help one another is really underneath all that. And I feel that today, and I really, you're all a huge part of that. And I think we should be really proud about what we've created here and what we're continuing to build in this area. And I just, thank you for everything that you're doing in the community. Thanks. All right. So this is the close of the day. The badges that you've got are your pass into the after party. I'd like to thank Smutty Nose and Portsmouth Brewery. They have provided at their own expense all of the wine, beer, and food at the after party. And it's located at the Discover Portsmouth Center, which is, if you're not familiar, it's sort of at the main intersection near Jumpin' Jays. We can point you in the right direction if you don't know, and they're waiting for us, so we start heading over there. And thanks again for a great day, guys. Thank you.